On previous days, among the 10 kinds of Ariyavāsa, the first 3 has been already explained. The Ariyavāsa, the dwelling of the noble ones, that the Buddha together with the Ariya disciple in the past, as well as the Gautama Buddha, and in the future Buddha together with the Ariya Savaka dwelled. And the Ariyavāsa, we also need to practice so that we will dwell in the Ariyavāsa momentarily through the Satipatthana meditation practice. Today is the 4th of the 10 Ariyavāsa, Caturapaseno. Caturapaseno means having the 4 supports. To make use of Sankhayeka Patisavati. Sankhayeka Patisavati means to make use of one thing with reflection. To make use of the 4 requisites: food, medicine, clothes, and dwelling place. These should be used in moderation. Food must be taken so as to sustain this body in order to practice. Medicine, when one gets sick. Clothes, in order to shelter from insect bites, hot and cold, as well as to cover the embarrassing organs. And dwelling place to ward off heat and cold, also from bites of animal, as well as other kinds of dangers such as robbers, thieves, and so on. So 4 requisites have to be used in moderation. People of wrong beliefs, they do not make use of clothes or medicine. They stay out in the open, in the sun, where making 4 kinds of fire together with the sun, and so on, in the hopes to remove defilements. But it is a self-mortification practice. So we should make use of these 4 requisites so as not to be practicing self-mortification. Also, nowadays in India, there still are beliefs that they don't eat, or they eat very little, not wear clothes, and so on. Even Bodhisattva, when Bodhisattva was practicing in order to gain omniscient knowledge, in the beginning, Bodhisattva practiced Dukkaracariya, eating very little, not going for alms round, only take fruit that has been fall by itself in the tree in the Uruvela. Later on, Bodhisattva even went a stream, only taking the fruit that falls from the tree that Bodhisattva was sitting. And later on, when it was too much, when the Deva said Bodhisattva should eat, otherwise they would put in the Deva food. So Bodhisattva ate little more, like maybe 1 handful of lentil soup, and so on. But it was so little, he lost strength And later on, Bodhisattva realized that this was not the way. This will not give any benefit. And Bodhisattva accepted alms and then eat normally, sufficiently, that would support the practice, and Buddha attained omniscient knowledge. While Bodhisattva practiced the middle path, not go into self-mortification, not go into self-indulgence, but through the middle path, Bodhisattva attained omniscient knowledge and became Buddha. Yogis should also make use of the 4 requisites: eat sufficiently, take medicine whenever it's needed, also wearing sufficient clothes, and also the dwelling place. So when taking meals, yogis should take care to eat sufficiently so as to sustain good health in order to be able to practice. But at the same time, one should take care not to overeat. Overeating will make one heavy, drowsy, which is not conducive for practice. And one should use of the medicine when one feels weak or one is not well. Sometimes some people go into extreme that during the intensive meditation, they think that they just rather practice instead of taking any medical treatment when they are ill. Please don't do it that way. Yeah, if one is not well, one should get some medical treatment so as not to get self-mortification of not having medical treatment if one is sick. Because even the Buddha allowed medicine to the Sangha when they are sick, and the Jivaka, the physician Jivaka, took care of the health of the Sangha, giving medicine and treatments. So yogis should also take necessary medicine when they are feeling not well. So in this way, yogi can make use of the 4 requisites in moderation so as to be free from the 2 extremes of self-mortification and self-indulgence. One should be mindful also when making use of the 4 requisites, not to use them in extravaganza, but in moderation, and do it mindfully. Sankhayika adivaseti, meaning having tolerance with reflection. One should tolerate heat and cold. One should tolerate what has been said bad by others. One should tolerate pain. In the practice, when the yogi comes across pain, physical discomfort, one should tolerate. When pain arises during the sitting meditation, if the yogi keeps on impatient of the pain, moving around as soon as the pain arises, then yogi will not make progress. So in order to make progress in the practice, yogis should tolerate, yogis should have forbearance when pain arises, not to be moving every time pain arises. When pain arises, pain is also an object to be noted. Yogis should not keep in the mind that I want to note this, I don't want to note that. There is no choice. Whether the object is pleasant or unpleasant or neutral, when they come obvious, yogi should be mindful of it. So when pain becomes obvious, yogi should note the pain, focusing the mind on where the pain is, note it as pain, pain, pain. If the pain is a big area, then pinpoint about 3 centimeters in diameter, pinpoint the pain where it is most obvious for about 3 centimeters diameter and note as pain, 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 focusing the mind, aiming, directing the mind onto it, noting it with effort so that the noting mind reaches the object. In this way, note the pain. If one is not mindful, one thinks that the knee is in pain, the leg is in pain, and so on. But if one notes the pain carefully, one can notice what is there in the pain. Noting carefully when the mind is fully, when the mindfulness is sustained on the pain, when the mind comes collected on the object pain, when viriya, sati, samadhi are continuous one after another, noting the pain, yogi notices the nature in the pain, such as it is heat pain, pressure pain, stabbing pain, or piercing pain. When the yogi sees the pain itself, when the yogi sees the nature itself, stiff pain, heat pain, there is no need. What really is there is the stiff pain, heat pain, and the noting mind that notes it. When noticing that there is stiff pain, heat pain, and the noting mind that knows it, there is no eye, there is no foot, there is no leg. What is really there is the stiff pain, heat pain, and the noting mind that notes it. Pain arises when Anitta Potaba Dhatu, the unpleasant, tangible object, comes into contact with bodily sensitivity. So this unpleasant Potaba, unpleasant tangible object, consists of the Patavi, Tejo, and Vayu, earth element, temperature element, and air element. So among these three, if any of these elements, or if any one or two or three of these elements are unpleasant, these unpleasant elements come into contact with bodily sensitivity, one experiences as pain. So when you note the pain, sometimes you might notice it as hardness, sometimes you might notice it as stabbing, sometimes you might notice it as heat, sometimes you might notice it as movement, vibration, and so on, pulling, pushing, and so on. So in order to know the nature of the pain, one must be mindful of it at the moment it arises. And noting pain, yogis notices stiff pain, heat pain, And as the yogi notes on again and again, continuously, moment by moment, one after another, when the mindfulness and concentration become continuous and stronger, yogi notices that it is not just one. When one mindfulness is weak, one thing, it is the same pain that stays for 15 minutes, half an hour, and so on. But when the yogi pay attention, when the mindfulness and concentration are continuous and strong, yogi come to notice that it is not just one pain. Heat pain arise, pass away. Another heat pain arise, pass away. In this way, it is not just one, but one pain arise, pass away, another pain arise, pass away. So in this way, when the yogi sees the pain, one pain arise, pass away, another pain arise, pass away. When the yogi notices it, one pain arise, pass away, another pain arise, pass away, even though it is pain, but it is interesting to be noticing how one arise, pass away, another arise, pass away. At that moment, even though it is physical pain, one is not upset with the pain. There is no mental pain, but yogi sees the physical pain itself. One arise, pass away, another arise, pass away. At that stage, even though it is the physical pain that is painful, but it is interesting in observing it. Yogi gets interest in noting the pain. Pain also becomes a friend, helping the yogi to understand the nature, the characteristic, as well as arising and passing away. And when the yogi sees the passing away of the pain, yogi even develops more courage in the practice. When seeing arising and passing away of the pain, yogi becomes more courageous, making effort in the practice. Such courage and effort that one develops by noting pain helps the yogi practice to progress. So in this way, pain is not something that you don't want, but pain is a friend that can help you. If you can note pain carefully, you can gain knowledge by noting pain. There are instances where one can even attain the Maggaphala Jnana by noting pain. During the Buddha's time, a group of monks, about 30 monks, went into the forest to meditate. And each of the monks meditate in each one of them in different places, under a tree, and so on. And there was a tiger. Every day, the tiger comes and take the monks. And the monks who were taken by tiger didn't ask for help, so that he wouldn't be disturbing the others. But later on, they realized that the number of monks are declining. And they make a promise that if the tiger came, they should ask for help. And one young monk was taken by the tiger. He asked for help. And other monks also, throw like stones so as to frighten away the tiger. But the tiger took him near a cliff so that others could not follow. So the monks reminded the monks, we cannot do anything more. Please be mindful. So the monk was being mindful as he was eaten by the tiger. The pain was excruciating. He noted the pain with patience and forbearance. And at times he reflected on the purity of his sila and be mindful of the piti that arises when reflecting his purity of sila. And again, he noted the pain, and at times he would be mindful of the piti that arises when reflecting his pure sila. This way, he was noting the pain, the nama rupa that arises, that comes obvious. And just as the tiger has eaten the ankle, the monk attained Sotapatti Magga Phala. Just as the tiger ate the knee, the monk became a Sakadagami. Just when the tiger eats the belly button, the monk became a Nagami. And just before the heart being eaten, just before the heart being eaten, the monk became an Arhat. So it means that even by noting pain, one could attain the Magga Phala knowledge if mindfulness, concentration, and knowledge is ripened. Sankhayeka privacheti, one should avoiding fierce animal, avoiding speeding cars, vehicles, and so on, avoiding the contact with opposite sex. It is avoidance that one should avoid. But this is a meditation center, so most are already avoided. Sankhayeka vinodheti, removing. One should remove the wrongful thoughts. One should remove the sensual thoughts. If one is thinking about movie, for example, even though the person is doing sitting meditation, but walking meditation, if thoughts arise about movies or music or the perfume, or if one comes to think about one's favorite food, or if one comes to think about the comfort of nice sofa to sit on, or if one is fantasizing, such are sensual thoughts. In order not for sensual thoughts to arise, in order to remove them if they arise, yogi should be mindful. Being mindful of the presently arising object, such thoughts cannot arise. And if the thought arises, one should note it right away, thinking. And also, ill will thoughts, angry thoughts, thinking about a situation one doesn't like, or if one comes to think of undesirable things, anger arises. So in order not to let angry thoughts arise, one should be mindful. And if they arise, one should remove it by being mindful of it. Also, tormenting thoughts, in order to prevent them, one should be mindful. And if they arise, to remove it right away by being mindful. And the other Ariyavāsa is Panona Pacheka Satcho. removing the truth by wrong beliefs. There mentioned 10 of them, but it's not beneficial to know all. The two main ones are sasatta ditti, the wrong view that if the person dies, the soul will move on to the next body. In this way, they wrongfully believe that the soul, it is permanent. And uccita ditti, the wrong view believing that after death, there is nothing. So such wrong views are to be removed. Ariya person have removed such wrong views. Through this practice of Satipatthana meditation, when one cultivates knowledge stage by stage, and one attains the first path knowledge, Sotapatti Magga, one removes this wrong view totally to the point of no return. In this way, one owns this Ariyavāsa of removing this individual truths of wrong beliefs. The sixth Ariyavāsa is Samavaya Satesano, removing the pursuit or removing the searching. Kamesana, the first one is Kamesana. Kamesana is pursuit of sensual objects, pursuit of looking, searching for pleasant things to see, to hear, to smell, to taste, to touch, so on. Wanting good existences, it is Kamesana. And Kamesana is removed when one attains Anagami Magga. But for Anagami person, Bhavesana still remains, as Anagami can still be attached with the Rupa Bhava and Arupa Bhava. The Brahma can still be attached with the Brahma assistance, wanting Brahma assistance. It will totally be removed by attaining Ariya Magga. And Brahmasriyesana, seeking various kind of practices. So as a Puthojana, one is searching for practices, whether this is correct, that is correct. So it's the kind of searching with the wrong view, whether this is right or not. And it will be totally removed when one becomes a Sotapanna. So even though the 10 kinds of Ariyavāsa has been mentioned, the main is Sattaraka, to have mindfulness as the protection. If one has mindfulness as the protection, one will also fulfill the others. So it is important to have sati, mindfulness as the protection, in order to have the Ariyavāsa momentarily, moment by moment. One should be practicing Satipatthana meditation. So Satipatthana, in the word Satipatthana, it's not just sati, but it is mentioned as Satipatthana. So it means that this sati is not just ordinary. So in the practice of Satipatthana, sati should not be normal quality sati, but it should be outstanding quality sati. In the word Satipatthana, patthana means outstanding, extraordinary, closely, firmly, steadfast. So in this way, in order to have sati as protection, sati shouldn't be ordinary kind of sati. It should not be of normal quality, but the quality of sati should be upstanding and extraordinary, the kind of sati that is closely, firmly, steadfast on the object that has been noted. So in order to have this extraordinary, closely, firmly, steadfast kind of mindfulness, one should make the effort every single second to be able to note it so that the mindfulness will be sustained, steadfast on the object that has been noted. So time is up. May we all be able to practice Satipatthana meditation smoothly so that we will attain Ariyavāsa at least till the first path and fruition more knowledge in this very life. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.